Welcome to White Shadow Fare, where I'm making it homemade and with love. Today, I'm making homemade graham crackers. What you'll need is white flour, whole wheat flour, baking soda, cinnamon, salt, butter, honey, and some brown sugar. In a bowl, you're going to mix your dry ingredients, so 1.5 cups of wheat flour and 1.5 cups of white flour, a teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Add a teaspoon of cinnamon. Give that a good whisk. Get everything well mixed together. And then go ahead and set your dry ingredients off to the side. From there, you're going to need 8 ounces of softened butter. And I did move to my stand mixer. You don't have to make this in a stand mixer, but it would be easier because this is going to be a thick batter. So to that, you're going to add 1 cup packed brown sugar, or 5 ounces. And you want to make sure that your butter was softened and you're going to mix well. So you're going to scrape down the bowl every couple of minutes as it sticks together, and you want to get the sugar and the butter well blended. And here you can see that things are starting to stick to the outside bowl, so I scrape it down. I stopped and did this several times along the way. Then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. And yes, I just eyeballed this. Remember the honey flavored graham crackers, so good. Once again, you're going to want to scrape it down to get everything well blended. All right, now you're going to slowly add the flour mixture to your creamed butter and sugar mixture. And this will take a little bit of time. It is going to be kind of a thick, sticky, crumbly mixture. All right, you're going to take your graham cracker mixture and put it out on a piece of either wax paper or parchment paper. And you are going to get another piece of parchment paper or wax paper and put it on top. So first I'm just gathering all of my mixture and kind of smashing it together and getting it somewhat flat. And then I just made one big sheet of parchment paper, laid it over, and I'm going to roll it out with a rolling pin and make it somewhere between 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. The thinner that you make them, the less time they will be in the oven, but you might not like your graham crackers all that thin. So you pick the thickness that you want. They are going to puff up a little bit. And just know that when it comes time to baking them, you are going to have to keep a close eye on these. This is definitely one of the more simple cookies that I've ever made. I can't believe it's taken me so long to get around to making homemade graham crackers, and I will be making them again and again. And then the best part about these cookies was everybody in my family that ate them said they were fantastic. Once you get them out to your desired thickness, it's time to cut them into crackers. If you want to be super precise about it, go ahead. Since I was going to be using these mostly for making a graham cracker crust, I just kind of eyeballed it here. I think if I made them again, I would do the exact same thing. I'm not that particular on the size of these cookies. So I left them on the parchment paper, I laid them on a cookie sheet and put them in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour. You could leave them in there for an entire day, whatever. And when you're ready to bake them, they're going to come straight from the refrigerator onto a baking sheet. Now, the only thing that I did here that I would do differently the next time around is I did bake them a little too close to each other, and some of them puffed up and kind of bumped into each other. I don't think it's a huge deal. They came apart very easily. And I didn't care about the wonky pieces. We were eating the wonky pieces, the ones that weren't shaped exactly right, just as well as the ones that were shaped correct. Also, I was going to be using all of the scraps for that graham cracker crust that I'm going to be making something with later on. So just kind of like puzzle pieces, I was fitting them onto my cookie sheets. I ended up with 2 complete cookie sheets, and probably if I had gone with 3 cookie sheets, it would be better. Once you remove them from the oven, put them on a cooling rack. You can see that I sprinkled a little bit of cinnamon and sugar on a couple to see if that made any difference in the taste. It really didn't, so I wouldn't bother with that the next time. They were delicious. They were great with a cold cup of milk. You can see that they puffed up a little bit there, and they were nice and golden brown. So thank you for joining me here at White Shadow Fare. I hope that you will give homemade graham crackers a try. Consider subscribing and giving me a thumbs up with that like button. Remember, try to make it homemade and you'll have made it with love.